Hello, marvelous students. Many of you are just starting with online classes or are new to Canvas, and I've had a lot of questions about Canvas itself. So I thought I would make a quick video and just go over the basics so that you can see kind of how to navigate through Canvas. And I'm not a Canvas expert, so hopefully this makes sense and hopefully it will be beneficial to you. So first of all, this is basically what my home screen looks like. I am in student view, so hopefully this is what you see. First of all, this over here, this blue, navy blue bar over here, this is your main navigation bar. And so that will take you to different places within Canvas, the entire Canvas. So for example, if I click on courses, that will take me to, well, I'll just click on it right now. That will take you to all of your courses. Right now I just have this course, English 220, but it should have your other courses listed. So all of your classes would be listed here. If you click on account, that will take you to your account where you can edit things. For example, I mentioned somewhere that if you can go to your profile and add a picture of yourself, it makes it so much easier for online discussions if you can see the face of someone that you're discussing a topic with. So if you can do that, that would be great. If you're not sure, if you're like me, you ask your 5-year-old to help you figure it out. But there are people on campus, and also I can try to write down some instructions on how to do that. You can also click on calendar. That will open your calendar up for all of your classes. And this is your inbox for your email account. And then there's also help options. So those are all things that you can do on this navy blue bar over here. The next bar is this one right next to it, right here. And this bar is for navigating within the class that you are currently in. So right now we are in English 220, and so this bar will take me to different places specifically within the English 220 class. Okay, so you can kind of imagine it that this is like walking into Ameritech, and this is like walking into the specific classroom of English 220. Over here on the right, you'll see this is a to-do list, and it will have the different assignments that you have for that week in this class. So, for example, this week we are in week 1, and so we have Turn in Review Reflection 1, which is 15 points, due May 13th at 12:59 p.m. And that's actually, that time is wrong. It should be 11:59 p.m. I'll fix that. And then we also have a discussion board 1, project part 1, identification of the topic, and this semester I've added a new feature which is extra credit. You can get a possible 3 points extra credit each week. It may not sound like much, but it's big for me, and it can add up. And it should be enough points to take the place of one discussion board post if you happen to miss one. Anyway, so in the middle is information about me and the class, but oh, and also over here it has the coming up, things that are coming up in the next week or 2 weeks, and you can also go to the calendar here. The best thing I've found when you get into the class is to just start at modules. You can go to announcements. I do send announcements out. I believe they should show up in your email also. But if you did not get an email from me with an announcement, you can go to announcements and see what announcements there are. But anyway, the best place to start is to just go to modules. So we're going to click on modules, and that's going to bring us to this list. So this first section here is kind of a just the basic getting started. There's an orientation presentation that you can look at, and then there is also the course overview and outcomes if you want to look at a written view of, like, you can print off a copy of the syllabus for this class here. And then I also have a video that I made that goes over the class and the class syllabus that you can watch here. If you can't tell, I like making videos apparently. And all of you should have received a copy of the APA manual with your course materials. If you opted to purchase your um, your your books and things outside of Ameritech, you'll need to purchase your own APA manual. And I would advise having that. It's a handy resource. Anyway, going back to looking at this, so as we scroll down, we come to week 1. And in my class, different classes are going to be set up a little bit differently, but basically it's going to be the same idea. So for week 1, each week is broken down into class preparation, discussions, and assignments. So under class preparation, you're going to find um, the reading materials and videos for the topic of learning for that week. And you're also going to find a grammar bite. So you just need to click on those things. So reading material. So here is the reading material. So there's a welcome video. There's some PowerPoints. There's another video that I made. And then I've got some resources that you can click on, some websites that you can go and look at and to better understand identifying a topic and pre-writing strategies. And then I just mention here your final essay assignment so that you can have a good idea of what we're shooting for at the end of this class. All right, and so once I've gone through all this material, or however much material you're planning on going through each week, I just click on next. So you can, if you want to go back to modules, you can go back to modules like that. The grammar bite is just a section of, it's a little tidbit on grammar, highlighting specific grammar problems that we see with college students. And so there's no test on it later on. Maybe I should, but they're great concepts to understand if you want to improve yourself as a writer. The next section is discussions, and this gets a little bit tricky, but you'll get it as we go along. This week, normally there would just be 2 discussion boards, but this week we do have an extra getting to know you. And so this is not required, but it helps me and it helps your peers to get to know you as we work together as a team throughout this course and throughout your program here at Ameritech. I think it's so important to network and to support one another. So each week there is a discussion board and there's a review and reflection board. The discussion board, and I'm just going to click on that. So this week, I click on that and it takes me to our first discussion board. So for this, you're going to need, like it tells us it's due May 13th, you're going to read over the prompt and then you will click on reply. You need to respond, you need to try to respond to this discussion board prompt by Wednesday at midnight, because that's going to give everyone time to post something and then give us time to reply to that post by Sunday. So if you can post this as soon as possible, that just gives people more time to respond to what you've said. And so I'm going to click on reply, and then I'm going to post something. So for example, here's what it looks like. I would type in my response. I'm not really going to do this, and then I would hit post reply. So for example, we have some people that have posted already, and so by Wednesday we want to try, or as soon as possible, we want to try to respond to this. And then by Sunday, you need to reply to one of your peers. You can reply to more people, but it's required to just reply to one. So, and I'm sorry for background noise. I'm trying to work outside so my kids don't find me, but they still find me somehow. But so for example, I can read over Michelle's um, post here, and then I would click on reply under her post. Okay, so not this main one, but under the specific person, I would click on reply. And here we have McKenna has already replied to Michelle's post. Okay, so um, you can, I would really encourage you to read through all of your classmates' posts, and if you have questions or if you have experience or knowledge that you can share with them, hit reply and then reply to them. So each week for the discussion board, you need to do one initial post, and then you need to reply to at least one peer post on this discussion board. All right, so now I can either, at the very end of this, you'll see there's the next button, or I can go back over here and click on modules. So I'm going to click on next, and that takes me to the review reflection board. For this board, you're just going to do one post. You don't have to respond to a peer post on this. But if you see something, for example, if someone asks a question, because this is a board where you can ask your questions, there's a little prompt to respond to, and then, like I say here, you can post any questions here that you have about the class or this week's material or assignments. And so if someone posts a question and you know the answer to that, you're welcome to hit reply and post that. I would love it if you would help each other. I'm not always able to quickly respond to all questions, so if you have the answer, that would be great. You can also, you can reply, oh, I have that question too. But like I said, on this board, you do not have to reply to a peer. But if you do, there will be brownie points in space for you. So, so that's the review and reflection board, and that's worth 15 points. And so, again, I would encourage you to read through all of these because it might be that someone's asked a question that you have and you can find the answers in that way. A lot of times I will ask you, if you email me a question, I will ask you to post it here because it's very likely that someone else has that same question. So I'm going to scroll down. So for example, someone had a question about in-text citations, and so they emailed me the question, but I posted the answer here because I'm sure some of you may have similar questions. So definitely read through the discussion boards and review reflection boards because I really think that's a crucial part of learning in this class. So I'm going to hit next again, and each week, or actually let me go to modules. So each week we've gone through the class preparation, we've gone through the discussions, and then each week there is an assignment section. This week we do not have an assignment. If we do, so for example, next week there is an assignment that will be due, and so you'll see it here. But each week there is a to-do list, and so you can click on the to-do list and it will give you a bulleted list of the things that you are expected to do for that week that are worth points. So The to-do list for this week is discussion board 1, which is identifying the topic for your final essay, and that's 30 points. There's the getting to know you board, and there's the review reflection board worth 15 points. And I try to put positive thoughts because I think we can all use a positive thought every day, but at least each week. And so your to-do list, if you really pay attention to that, it can help you just make sure, hey, I did that, okay, I did that, okay, I did that, okay, and you'll know that you're fine for the week. And then I hit next, and this next thing is something I just added this semester. So you are my guinea pigs, and I think you'll appreciate this. Um, so um, you just need to respond to this question, and you can get a possibility of 3 extra credit points. It may not seem like much at first, but it is big for me. I've never offered extra credit before, and if you do this each week, it's up to 36 points. So that could really help your grade at the end of the semester. These must be done within the week. So you can't go back at the end of the semester and hurry and do all of them. They must be done each week. And so basically that is Canvas. You can go to grades and see your grades. Pages I don't go to very often. I mean, you can. It'll give you kind of like a title or not a title page, a table of contents for the class. You can go to assignments, and it will list all of the assignments, including discussion boards, anything that's worth points. You can go to the syllabus to see the syllabus. You can, I just want to see what this shows. This, if you click on people, it will show you everybody in the class. Chat, I have in the past done group chats and videos, or like in-person live videos, and we can do those. We just need to find a time that works best. But you can also, I haven't really used this chat very much, but you can. And then, of course, the Learn Library we'll learn more about next week, but it is a tremendous resource that you'll be able to use. So hopefully that gives you an idea of Canvas. Honestly, play around in Canvas. Don't be afraid to kind of click on things. Like I've told some of the people who've been asking about Canvas, it's really difficult to crash the whole system. So don't be afraid to play around with it. And if you do make some horrible mistake and everything disappears, that's why we have IT people that can help you bring that back. And there are plenty of resources online and on campus. So hopefully that answers any questions. If you have any other questions, please post them on the review reflection board, or you can email me. Thanks.